Friendo here, and I am wearing my poetry hat. I'd like to read you a poem that I wrote years ago. It's called A Walk Through the Uffizi. I enter the Louvre through the underground entrance, off the metro. That way you avoid all the architecture in favor of the nickel-slick superstores. Virgin music is well represented in the lower foyer. In Florence, the Uffizi has a long line that winds through an ancient piazza, with rows of statues on each side, all old and famous for incidents, and street performers, silver-skinned, pretending to be statues of famous people. The sign outside says, Musée Firenze. I explain the meaning to two American girls. There are 3 wings of the Louvre, but I'm only going to one, a famous one. Its name is French. I'm looking at classical statues and paintings and wondering why the art is the same in France as it was in Italy. In fact, I'm seeing the headless, armless, medium-breasted goddess of love and walking through 2 museums at once. There is Napoleon being crowned. The picture is 20 feet tall. Spectators have to look up at him, even though he's kneeling, and the 4-foot-tall image of him on canvas is life-sized. There's a line to the Mona Lisa. For the first time, the traffic slows and stops. The last archway before the turn to see the painting has a bust of Commodus. I saw a bust of the emperor in Florence, in the Uffizi, but the Italians gave him a beard and made his head massive, with a strong jaw and proud demeanor. This is who he really was, a giant man who happened to have a very small mind. The French made him a child, with a stupidly proud haughtiness and weak features, the petulant aristocrat that history will remember him as, the man who beat cripples to death and tried to rape his sister. Beyond the Lisa is a painting of Leonidas, king of the Spartans, waiting to beat back the Persian hordes, unaware that he will die at Thermopylae. He is naked, with toned muscles, and the classical Greek small penis. In Uffizi, there was a circular room that featured the slaughter of the innocents. As you walked around a circle, there were paintings put up of people being murdered. And farther down the hall I saw Salome, the temptress who had told Herod to put John the Baptist's head on a platter. She was fat. In France, she is a thin temptress, with a lascivious face and wanton body. She smiled at sin. 2 of her, different stories with the same ending. I take an obscure turn. In a small hallway, I see a single window facing the plaza, where the sun bakes the concrete and the French ground glares my American eyes. Across from the window is a single painting, a naturalist landscape, with horses in the distance. I can see a centaur walk up to me. I'm just staring as he comes up to me, tall and proud. Bonjour, he says. There are many things I've always wanted to ask a centaur. I don't speak either French or Greek. Latina lingua di casne. He shrugs. Do you speak English? He shrugs again. A little embarrassed, he rides away, leaving me to my questions. I keep walking around, overwhelmed like we do, and then settle against a pillar. A girl asks me if I speak English. She's embarrassed, overwhelmed, lost, and she thinks I'm French. I just smile and tell her how to leave the Louvre. I think I'm still in the Uffizi. And this art is as much history as I have experienced. Human experience, as lovingly preserved as canvas and oil and charcoal can provide. And I walk through it as a stranger, a foreigner who is not part of the culture being remembered, or the culture doing the remembering, 3 steps removed from the event, 1,000 miles and 3,000 years distant, trapped on the other side of a romantic image. And in all those places, just as I am in the Louvre, and the Uffizi, and just as any two places and any two people can be the same.